Children, welcome to part 2 of the chapter Field Trip, page number 3. As in the first part, I've mentioned you that Naldur is a very dry area with scanty rainfall. But now when they knew about Naldur, but when they reached Solapur, they could see many changes. First changes, they were excited to see how Solapur was so urbanized. Second thing what they saw was the vegetation out here. The vegetation was a drastic change. Here they could find sugarcane cultivation on the either side of the field. They could see good growth of sugarcane field, and this area has good amount of rainfall. They could see only sugarcane being cultivated. Naldur, what they saw was that in Naldur they could see the cultivation of moong dal, urad and other pulses. But in Solapur they could see the cultivation of sugarcane. Sugarcane is a rabi crop where it needs lot of water for the irrigation, and if rainfall is not there, artificial irrigation is being used. And they even saw canals, reservoirs. These reservoirs are for the use of water when rainfalls are not there. This is the way to conserve water for a long period of time. And when they were moving, they halted near Indapur and they gathered there and they had their breakfast. After having their breakfast, they could see, teacher told them to refer to the map, and when they referred to the map, they could see the backwater of the Ujjaini dam, which was built on the river Bhima. And Bhima dam, the dam is mainly used for supplying drinking water. Dam is a safe source of storing water. First is the water is used for drinking purposes, power generation, that is hydroelectricity, fishing and irrigation therapy. Some students clicked the picture also about the dam because they saw it for the very first time. And then they were moving around. When they were moving around, so the teacher explained them it is a Deccan Plateau. And the Deccan Plateau, as they'll be moving towards the west, they will see many changes in the relief, slopes, the vegetation will be changed. So many such changes they were going to see. They again boarded the bus to move towards Siagarh. When they were moving by bus, they were now going to Hotspur and finally to Siagarh. They saw a big hotels on the either side of the road, and on the mountain foothills also they could see small hotels. They stopped there and they had their lunch. After relaxing for a while, students were seeing the scenic beauty of that area. They were seeing the trees, the huge trees like jujube, sometimes bod, babul. Babul is an important fodder tree which grows in the area where there is a scanty rainfall, and this is actually one of the most important fodder tree also. But very different trees were seen what they have not seen in Naldur. Naldur, we could see that it was a semi-arid thorny types of vegetation. The vegetation of Naldur was semi-arid because of scanty rainfall. Changes in this line is very important. The statement is very important and it was been asked for the board exam also. Change in type of vegetation is an indicator of change in the amount of rainfall in that area. What it means by? It means that to vegetation, to seeing trees, will come to know about the area, whether the area is having sufficient rainfall or scanty rainfall or more shower of rain. And they could see different common trees out here. They could see Anjan tree, which is also known as ironwood, banyan tree, peepal tree, are more in number in this area. When they were moving around the Siagarh area, they could see the offshoots of the mountain. So the teacher told them to take their IDs, binoculars and cameras. So now they will move towards the Siagarh fort. Now Siagarh fort is a mountainous fort. First of all, there are 3 types of fort. In Naldur they have seen the ground fort, which was a local fort built on the level of a ground. Now this Siagarh fort, it is on the mountainous top. is built on a mountain. It is also one of the most important historical and geographical importance, because the king used to be in the fort for a long period of time, that is years to years. They wouldn't allow the enemies to come into the fort, and this was the safest part. And most important fact was that they would get water inside the fort, and agriculture was also practiced. And so we can see there are three types of fort: ground fort, mountainous fort, and water fort. Now I go to page number 4. Here it is said that when the children were moving on the foothills of the Siagat fort, they could see the variation in the climatic condition. So it was very sunny first as they were climbing the mountainous top. The temperature was also falling down. They were feeling little cool, and finally it was starting to drizzle. Drizzle means not heavy shower of rain, but it is a light shower of rain. Children and the tourists who has come to see, they were enjoying steamed groundnut, buttermilk, and curd on the way. Now, the children had clicked many aerial photographs of that area, such as vegetation, birds, and even they clicked aerial view of Pune city. And they also clicked some pictures of the fort. After the teacher told them to gather, and she was giving some information about the Siagat fort. The entrance of this fort was quite big. They had clicked the pictures, whatever has mentioned about the fort, the entrance of the gate of the fort. They have clicked pictures, and it will be a remembrance for them when they move to Naldur. Now, the madam has instructed them what they could see, the undulating plains. But Naldur was a plain ground, but here it was a mountainous, and it was a rough topography with hills, huge hills, and they were moving towards a high altitude where they could experience some clouds also. And here, the physical features of this mountainous region, it was built on the rock pinnacles. As I told you, it is a volcanic eruption. The rock pinnacles here, hard rocks, and it took the formation of mountains, valley, and hill has been formed from the volcanic eruptions. And these debris of landslides, sometimes landslides also takes place because these rocks become very loose and they fall down on the road. And here on the mountainous region also they conduct agriculture. Agriculture conducted on the mountainous region is also known as jhum cultivation. So what is the difference about the rocks? The rocks are very much important in this area. The rocks is that it is basalt or igneous rock. Both it is very strong, very hard, and it is also very fertile. And here the cultivation is the vast difference between Sholapur and Naldur. Sholapur, the quantity of rainfall is also there, so good shower of rain is also there, where they grow sugarcane and rice paddy. So in Naldur, due to scanty rainfall, they were growing dal, pulses, etc. But here they were growing sugarcane and paddy because of good amount of rainfall. They were enjoying the area, they were seeing the structure, they felt nice. And now the children were saying what difference they were seeing. Now the teacher was telling them the difference is what they have seen in Naldur was ground fort. Here they are seeing mountainous fort, and one more fort was remaining for them. That will be in Alibag, because Alibag also has one water fort which is known as Kolba Fort, or it is also known as Alibag Fort. Thank you, children. I come to an end of part 2. Page number 4, and I would like to give you some suggestion. Like I wanted to know the soil quality of the area of Maharashtra. I repeat, soil quality, that is you have to mention what are the soil you get in Maharashtra. Example, basaltic or igneous type of soil. Then here you can mention about fort. You can have to mention about ground fort and mountainous fort. Thank you.